Welcome to CITAM Church Online with Pastor Karita Mbagara, the senior pastor at CITAM Karen. We have been discussing the sins of half-heartedness from the book of Malachi, and today we come to a close by looking at the sin of cynicism. We talked about the sin of doubt, where people were doubting God and His love towards them as they compared themselves with others. We also talked about apathy at the public place of worship. Then we talked about infidelity, where we do not keep our promises. But we come to this place where we are talking about the general moral behavior of the people of Israel at the time when Malachi is preaching. He seems to be suggesting that the people have lost confidence in God. And as they lose confidence in God, a number of things show up. According to Roy Clements, when you have lost confidence in God, you will find that moral anarchy comes, following quickly after. There will be then social decadence. There will also be pandemic despair, where people just have despaired of life. And at the end is self-destruction. And it seems to be the thing that is happening in the days of Malachi. They are cynical about God. Listen to what Malachi is telling them in chapter 3, verse 14 and 15. You have said it is futile to serve God. What do we gain by carrying out His requirements and going about like mourners before the Lord Almighty? But now we call the arrogant blessed. Certainly, evildoers prosper, and even when they put God to the test, they get away with it. In other words, the people had reached a place where they did not believe that God was good to all people, and especially to those who are righteous. In fact, they think because the evil people are doing things and they seem to be succeeding, they are having a struggle that hadn't been there before them. In the book of Psalm 73, you find a man called Asaph who is asking the same or saying the same thing, that those who are ungodly seem to do better than those who are godly. The same idea is carried in the book of Jeremiah chapter 12, where Jeremiah asks, why do the unrighteous prosper? But in both instances, God gets to the people who are asking the question and says that I will deal with the evildoers. And even right here in the book of Malachi, God says, I am consistent. In fact, in verse 5 of verse 6, of chapter 3, God says, I do not change. I am consistent. I will reward the righteous. So Malachi actually deals with the issue of cynicism by teaching the truth. And the truth that he teaches is that God will triumph, and so will His people. He is teaching us that here and now there are rewards that will come to those that fear the Lord. But he also says that in the future, God will bring His judgment. And the righteous judgment of God is such that those who are wicked will be rewarded by punishment and by destruction. You find this in chapter 3, verse 3 through to 4. But the righteous will be spared. They will be the ones that will have the final smile. God also tells us that He does not change in this same chapter. And He is communicating that those who are righteous will get their reward. I don't change. I reward the righteous. For a season, it may appear, it's like the psalmist saying that darkness or evil may, or weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. So you may be going through a period where it seems like it is a time of darkness. Be assured that God will come through for you. There will be a breaking of the day, and that which is right and proper will come to you. But also those who are ungodly and seem to be doing well need to be reminded what the writer of Proverbs says, That there is a way that appears right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. There is a way that you can appear to be doing very well, but you will end up in the judgment of God. So let's put our trust in God. The antidote to cynicism is hope. It is confidence that God is true to his word. It is the belief that as he has promised, Jesus will come back and judge the world. The closing words in the book of Habakkuk are found in chapter 4 from verse 4 to 6, where he says these things, that we must obey God. 4 things that he says: obey God. Secondly, he says, be ready for the coming judgment. Jesus is coming back, and when he comes back, what will follow is the judgment of God. It is appointed to us one day to die. After that, the judgment of God. The third thing that closes this message is that we should love one another. The fourth thing is that we should never ever give up on God. His justice will still come. With 4 things, Malachi closes his message to the people of Israel. Those 4 things are also good for us to remember, because God is telling us we must obey what he has taught us. Secondly, he's telling us to be ready for the impending judgment that will definitely come. Thirdly, we are to love one another. We are to care for one another. We are to be mindful of one another. And fourthly, we should never ever give up on God. When we give up on God, we have no place for recourse. Let us not be cynical. Let's trust God to carry us through. Yes, for a season, things may appear to be difficult, and when you look to the world that is around you, things may be working, and it is for people who don't fear God, but you are encouraged to hope in God and trust him, and you will have the final smile. God bless you. Let's hear what you think by leaving a comment in the social platform that is below here. Thank you.